Hi everybody, this is Gijs again and I hope you are doing well. This is not a video on outdoor gear, it's not a review, it's not even a video on the stuff that I use to shoot videos with. But it's just a little behind the scene to give you a little bit of an impression on what else I do next to the reviews that I do for my YouTube channel. I am working for the last 10 days and not continuously, but on and off for a client that's called Tank03. And Tank03, it is a water purification system for RVs, camper vans or campers, how we call them in Europe, trucks, tiny houses, boats. And it's not a filtration system, so it does not get anything out of the water. It's not working on electricity with UV, because UV also is a way of getting your water purified, but it works on electrolysis. Now let me explain a little bit what happens here. Over here I've got a small 12-volt battery. A little wire that goes to this control unit, and then there goes another wire into this, well, let's say water tank, which is an aquarium with a cut open water tank at the moment in here. And in the water tank there is the electrolysis. This is a difficult word, so correct me when I'm wrong, but you get what I mean, I think. There is the electrolysis unit in there. The interesting part is basically how it works. So it's not filtration, it's not UV. So how does this one work? Well, basically inside the tank there is a little electrolysis unit. And this converts the oxygen that is in the water into ozone. And ozone, in this case, it basically kills everything that is in your water tank or in your water that should not be there and that can make you sick. And it also prevents the growing of algae, for example. Now, the nice thing about this system is that it is very small and it is, well, very easy to maintain. Now, the company, Tank03, they asked me to do a DIY video for people who buy the system if they don't want some big company or a camper van retailer to build the system into their van, if they wanted to do them itself. That's the video that I have been doing now for about 10 days. I've been shooting in my village at a local RV reseller, shooting the water tank inside the camper van or the RV. And I've done some shooting also on this table in detail for the instruction video. And earlier this week I also went to another village, because you've got water tanks that are in the floor, you've got water tanks that are in a bench, but then just like this one you can reach it from the top. But apparently there are also RVs or camper vans where the water tank is reachable from the side, and then you have to do a different video with a sort of a little bit of a different setup. So that's what I've been shooting earlier this week as well. One of the things that I really wanted to shoot was the electrolysis unit, converting the O2 into ozone. And of course I cannot show you the chemical process, but what you will see is that it makes bubbles inside the tank. And that is something that I wanted to shoot in detail. Now, yesterday, it's been very cold in the Netherlands, or very cold, it's been cold in the Netherlands, -2 to 5 degrees at night, and during daytime around 0. So yesterday, when I took my old aquarium and I filled it with water and I put the water tank, the cut open water tank in here, the water was about 3 or 4 degrees. And I shot some images yesterday with my iPhone. You know this one, it's waterproof, you could put it in the tank and it will work. But the image quality, it's nice, but it's not what I want. I want to have a little bit more play with light and an extra little light in there, so I shoot this with my Sony. One thing, the video that I'm shooting now, what you are watching, is shot with a DJI Action 3 action camera. That's why it's so wide angle. This is basically my vlogging camera. And why is this one now my main camera? Well, last week I turned my Sony A7 Mark IV on and it was absolutely dead. Not because of the battery, there was just one little red light blinking here below, or on the other body of course. No LCD display, not even in the finder, the viewfinder, there was nothing, and it's a digital one. So I called the reseller and he said if it's not having any images in the viewfinder, your motherboard is probably broken. So I sent it in 2 days ago, and it's going to be probably a turnover time of 6 to 8 weeks. Now, for a camera that's 1.5 years old, I was not expecting this malfunction to happen. So I'm not really sure what to do now, because this is a vlogging camera. I always have 2 cameras with me, because if one breaks down, I always have the other one. Now I've got the DJI Pocket, DJI Action, I've got my iPhone of course, but I'm really thinking about for this period to buy another camera. Would I buy a Sony again? I'm not sure, because I just came from Panasonic and I really love that camera, but the autofocus was not that super. And if you're doing everything by yourself, my YouTube videos, autofocus is pretty important. So maybe you can help me. What should I do? Take the risk that I'm doing videos with only one camera and having a action camera as a backup? Or should I buy a second camera? And then which one should I buy? Again, a Sony, or should I go back to, well, basically the Panasonic that our boss basically very happy about? Now, let's go back to where I was. That was basically yesterday. I did that in the shed and it was perfectly all right. But when I came here this morning, the glass, it was covered in a very thick layer of condensation, because yesterday the temperatures went up already to 5 degrees, and today, at the end of the day, they expect that we are going to have 17 degrees and sun here in the Netherlands. It looks already quite beautiful outside. It's early in the morning still. But what happens is that the cold water and the warm air, of course the glass, it collides. So that is why it was condensating. So I took the kettle, put some warm water in there, and that did not help, because it's a tank of about 30 by 40 by 30 centimeters. Do your maths. So I needed more water, but I didn't want to take the tank out. And then I thought, hey, I have got this thingy for basically cooking in my kitchen when I have to cook meat, for example, for a very long time on a very low temperature. I do the meat into a vacuum bag together with herbs, and then I put it in the pan, and I put this heating system in the pan. I put it to 40 degrees and I let it sit there for a couple of hours, and then the steak, after that it's sort of cooked, but it's really nice and juicy, and then you can put it in your freezer. And when you want to have a quick steak, I just take it out of the freezer, and then after a couple of hours, I just put it into the frying pan, bam, bam, or on the barbie, and you have a nice, really nice steak that is cooked, but it's very soft and juicy on the inside, while it's got this nice charred, grilly things on the outside. It's absolutely a super way. Also for vegetables, it's very nice. And then I thought, let's put this one in there. So I put it on. It is now 18 degrees. The water inside the tank. The glass is absolutely clear. And yes, the whole system, it is working, because I see bubbles coming from the electrolysis unit. So that's what I'm going to do today. Finish this job, not with this kind of lighting, because I wanted to have it a little bit more technical and sexy. But that's something for basically the guy who gives me the assignment, not for you guys. Maybe later on I'll show you how that is done. But that's what I wanted to share with you, just on a little bit behind the scenes on what I'm doing. Also next to what I do for my own YouTube channel. So I hope you like this information, that the video might even be useful to you. Please get back to me on my camera problem. What should I do? And well, if you're done watching, then please hop over to one of my other videos on my YouTube channel if you're interested in outdoor gear, or maybe in a how-to on backpacks and that kind of stuff. For now I say, enjoy your day, enjoy the outdoors, and stay safe. Ciao, ciao. And now, maybe I should turn the lights out and see what is going on. And I need an extra light because that's why I make those holes. Okay, but first, I'm going to get me a new cup of tea.